So we're gonna have to get down to stop bull crap and you know, I mean, right? Where's the home theater system? Right? You played the whole thing. You played Jerusalem. Did you pick the game pieces or the game chips? Do you have it? Right? Yeah. You saw it in the news today. Did you saw it in the news today? With Trump making the divide. I mean, this according to the news media. We were not out here in Florida that doesn't reject any news as always, 20 years later. Yeah. Yeah. So he who believes something will lose his life is going to be what we're going to be talking about on the Sabbath. I was told not to do this and sign up to DOD Galactic in Calvin, the Naval Base, in Long Island, where I go to work every 40th year. Did you want? You got your blood done, and you got the RNAM, and you got the born again, or that's it for you, one shot deal. And so he says that he will lose his life, or he will save his life, or lose it. True enough. Every 40th year we do this. The modern day medicine is science medicine. And then, did you put in for it? Do you have it in your area? It was a funded city, and you got the whole 9 yards. And then he will lose his life. He will lose his life or save it. I think it's the basic thing. We're gonna, we can't do it now. You know what I'm saying? Have a couple of shooters. It is Friday. I mean, I don't do this all the time. It'll come to Friday. Don't listen. What do you listen to me for? You know what I mean? Well, what do you want my deception? Don't you want your own? This way you blame yourself. Oh, yeah, the chain reaction risk test. Did you all you got it right? You put you type the risk test. You read all about it. I'm not MD or researcher. I can't tell you the answer. Well, you go look it up yourself. We were talking about the fertilizer. You know what I mean? Where life comes from, the infectious disease in a woman. They put in Indian Pro who the champion was. I mean, who's the champion? You know who the best of the best is as far as DBAs of the U.S. military and something. I don't can't admit that. I mean, maybe I must have died at one time in this hospital bed. After a coma, And trust me, I got that done. That was this. They tell me all day, go get late. Why don't you mind, I am 54. It's not like I don't have, there's other problems, about this. Who's the best of the best? You can't do that. You have to take anybody. But that's not what they told us. That's about 50,000 each. You sign up for your Justice Department. They don't figure that. They don't figure you just get the $50,000. That's what their fathers. When you talk to your father, what do you call? Right. That's what we got to say. So there's definitely a definition behind the sentence, and when you travel a lot, like the Carnival, the U.S. military, DBAs, it's hard to learn. Every generation is different. You really have to. What I find at Disney Junior, and I can't say that, but you pop that in at 5:30 in the morning, and you pick up on the slang and dialect, and the graphics, the color, the whole thing. But I don't know if you have the system. Do you have the system? It should be. It's perfect. If you get the small screen TV. I grew up with the least expensive. At one time I had the best expensive, but I didn't have the TV. Not the small screen. But and that's what happened with when I picked out in garbage. That don't work. So we're going to talk about. Do you want to chat it? Do you want to have a couple of girlfriends, couple of guys over? Have a with a cup of coffee. How would it? What the hell they teach us? You don't say that. I mean, what are you trying to neutralize the whole thing? I'm trying to, put some spot. I mean, it's all over with. I mean, as far as manufacturing is concerned, there's no more manufacturing. Except for the company that left in Canada, horseshoes, the, computer part. I mean, that's it. So he will lose. I mean, we're talking about a book, but it's important though. You see how they teach me neutral? The state of Florida, seceded from the Union, Missouri, Texas, and Florida, and the United States. And so you talk to people, say no. We're not doing what the government said. Other people, they absolutely against. We want to pay all these taxes. Well, as far as the United States, if you talk about the United States of America, 20 years, 15% taxes, and drive your check down there. And then if you're, top notch, tell you how you want to invest it, and either way you do, you don't. So he will lose his life, will save it, and he will save his life, will lose it. I think it's going to be a basic thing. We're going to have to go to the father with. You could have meant this. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You come over here from Jerusalem and bossing everybody around. Get out of the country, What do we have to do? Because they'll tell you, only Jews, only 3 Jews, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. He did the whole thing. What the Quran was trying to get a Michael and a Jesus to save everybody. Were you trying to get two kids asking? We were trying to get me thrown in eternal damnation. Is that it? And he told you now. Only him. It says right here. There's all, God, one God over the whole earth and no man on earth. I don't know about women, but that, everybody's a ball hog. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he said, all the, and you don't know. They don't realize that vision, to make life interesting for us. As you have to suffer yet before you believe. I mean, and they tell me if you don't stop, we have a standard teaching. You go get signed into DOD Galactic. You get by the kit, make the UFO, and go fly around. I'm gonna see him when I walk in the store in the morning, before sunrise. I don't think he changed the lights on the aircraft. Not Austin. Because you have a ball, so the circumference here is one thing. The circumference here is something else. And so go to that equator is something else. Things you didn't think about. Did you have to think of that? I love that one. Eugene, I mean, what is he doing, Anna? Same thing. I mean, they're going to get somebody else. So what do you think? It's a clear definition. There's a full back, probably a 3-pager, as to what this particular sentence or word means. And if you're moving, so when people say, it's like I go to Sunoco, I come back, and the woman says to me, when did you do this? When I went to Sunoco, she said, no, you didn't. No, I mean, not with that tone of voice, no, you didn't. You didn't. I mean, first, you call Spirit of Truth a liar? Did I not just get done? You see how it gets started? That's not, the slang and dialect. Like, when you're trying to pretend like you're impressed, 3 years later, I figured this out. Well, I want to tell you, if you argue with your husband, you don't argue with me. I mean, I told you I went to Sunoco. You don't tell me you didn't. You need a rap in the head? I'm not going to do it to you because I lose my jack. Well, we have a clear definition. Me and Chris will talk about it. Maybe I'll digital record. So you take this over here, right? How would I ever get into what would the Star Trek movie that you could give me? You got the Cyberlink, the subscription for Cyberlink to make a movie. You take your videos and the whole thing, and your personal video. Did you get you got the home theater system? Oh, I would tell you, primo. But you set all the wiring up from the ground up. You pull it all out and get down to the system. Once you make the payments, because it's a sound, you got to teach you. You got to teach you how you make your payments if you want the full system. You get the what do you call it? The optical audio. Did you get the county and city ordinances as far as what volume you can use and when? Like here it's a 30 in a retirement, it's 30 to 40 going up to 10:30 in the morning. and 60 to 70 from volume wise, sticky done until 10:30 at night. And what time is that's it? You know what I mean? Like what? I mean, it's supposed to be all internet. I mean, not just TV. What are you gonna do? I mean, there's 4 different layouts for this house. It would depend. I need 2 weeks. I got to set it back. I got to flip the table this way for the adjustment. I'm like, what for? It was in 19 years. I did nothing but steal an apple pie and a Diet Coke, and it cost Dad $400. Like I said, houses cost me a lot. Yes or no? If you don't, you either had to get to work. I don't care what the psychiatrist says. Can't do that. I mean, if you just paid $152,000 in taxes, you're definitely a psychotic. You know what I mean?